for me, I don't want to go backwards or go in circles. I just want to move forward. Hi guys, so today I wanted to talk about the 5 stages of grief, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because it's a great way to kind of gauge where you're at on something if you have suffered a loss. And this could be a loss of a death, a loss of a relationship or person, a loss of a dog, a loss of a job, really anything that has that type of like big impactful emotional base for you. And with that said, there's 5 stages, and the 5 stages are great to kind of have like a little like guideline as to where you are. And sometimes we can actually repeat the stages, so you may be like repeating them and going in circles until you're ready for the next step. And so having the 5 stages of grief helps you be a little bit more conscious of what's happening. And so this way you kind of pinpoint like, where am I feeling right now? And when you start feeling differently, you could kind of see, am I going backwards? Am I going forwards? So it's a really good scale that I personally have used for myself in a lot of different stages of my life to figure out where I'm kind of sitting in my life and what I kind of need to do to get to the next step. Because for me, I don't want to go backwards or go in circles. I just want to move forward. The first stage is denial. Denial is where if once that something happens, you are just in denial that it's happening. You're like, no, this is not happening right now. This is not real. This is going to change. You know, I just need to be by myself and like take in that shock and take in that feeling of what is happening and digest it and be like, what is actually happening? Because you're just like, I don't know what just hit me. So that's kind of the first stage, is denial. And the second stage is anger. Anger is just that, anger. You are feeling a lot of negative feelings. You're very angry about it. You're probably yelling, or you could just be showing your anger or holding it in, but feeling so angry that somebody would do something to you, that you would blame them for doing this to you and making you feel this way. And there's just so much negative energy in this because you're just feeling so hurt, because the underlying feeling of anger is sadness and hurt. So those are the true feelings that you're having. So the more sad and hurt you are, the more angry you are, and that's the way it's coming out. And so you're just angry and angry and angry at the person or the thing or whatever you're deeming as what caused it, or where you're directing that angry energy to. And the third stage is bargaining. So bargaining is where you kind of go back and forth and you're like, well, no, this could work. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not angry with you. This could work. We can actually figure it out. We can go and do this. We can go and do that. How about if this changes? How about if I change that? How about if I give you this? You are bargaining and trying to do any kind of negotiation to get this to go back to the way it was. So you're no longer in denial about this happening. You've accepted that, you know, this is the situation. You're no longer angry about it. You're basically saying, I'm not angry about it. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure out how to make this right again and go back to everything the way it was. How about we do this, this, and you just try to figure out any way possible to make it the way it was and go back to how it was. So that's bargaining. And the fourth stage is depression. So depression doesn't have to be like true depression as what you see as clinically diagnosed, but you do feel very sad about it. You probably have, you know, very, just a lot of sad feelings and emotions that come through, because now you've not only accepted everything that is, you know that there isn't that bargaining hope or chance that it will go back to what it was. So now you're feeling like the sadness, the grief, the, you know, loss. You're actually feeling it for what it is at this point. And it's a very hard feeling to sit with. This is kind of the time when a lot of people in this feeling can't process it, because it's really hard. It's not like we learned it as, you know, kids. So this is where we sit with this feeling, and we want to go and do other things to not feel this negative feeling. Nobody likes negative feelings. This is why we all like instant gratification and feel good things. But this feeling is very important, this stage, number 4. In my mind, it's the most important because this is where we could get lost, right? If you don't process it properly, you can go your whole entire life with this just unfinished, undone, or done in a way where it's not done in the right way, and it will never leave you. If you never correct it on yourself, in yourself, you're never going to actually be able to heal from it. And it will honestly stay with you for a lifetime. Whether you want to block it out or not, it's still there. But once you actually deal with it, process it, and do it kind of the right way, the healthy way, which is the hardest way, it really is the thing where you can just be at peace with it and accept it and let go and forgive, and you can move forward with your life without carrying that baggage. Like, have you ever seen that like picture where you show like there's like this person who's carrying just like loads and loads of like luggage over their back, and it's because they're carrying all this baggage from things, from hurt that they just never processed to let go. And once you let go, it's so freeing because you don't have to hold anything onto you anymore. But if you don't let go, all that baggage is still sitting on the weight of your shoulders, and it gets so heavy on top of all the things that come up again later on in life, or just the daily struggle of getting through the day. So I really do recommend that this number 4 stage, you go and do what you need to process this. Sit with yourself, force yourself to go through the discomfort, because it's going to make things so much better in the end and so much easier to heal from than to like keep it within you for years and years and years and let it sit and get older and harder to fix and work through. And in this time is a really good time if you need to go see like a therapist or go talk to someone or have someone help you kind of stay on track. That's a great time for them to kind of get these people in place to help you get to where you need to be, because this is a dangerous place to be like, I'm not sure how I'm feeling, because this negative feeling can make you do a lot of things that you typically may not do. It's these feelings, and that's been the hardest struggle for me. And having healed from things and purged these feelings for years after, I'm telling you how much harder it is, you know, than to have just sat with it for a little bit and like gotten that out of my system. But to hold it, carry it, think about it for years, it really just doesn't help you in any way. So I really do recommend, if you can get to that point and do that for yourself, to please do that for yourself, because you are worth more and your life is worth more than to have to suffer in sitting there with this baggage on your shoulders that's already passed and done with. And number 5 is acceptance. So once you get to this acceptance stage, you're basically at the end of this journey of the grief stage. And don't think that these 5 steps are really quick and easy, because it's not. It takes time, and depending on what you're going through, it takes a long time or a short amount of time, and it's okay. And sometimes people kind of spiral in between some of the different numbers of stages, and they kind of keep going around and around and around between like maybe anger and denial and just being in this like depression stage. So you could kind of keep going into that circle, but at some point, if you keep moving forward, keep trying to process the feelings. If you don't ignore the feelings, it will really help you to process everything, sit with it, have the not feel good. I know it doesn't feel good, but once you get past it, that acceptance, number 5, it's amazing. And you just feel like you again. You feel whole again. You feel like you're able to like just redo what it is that you do. And you learn the lessons from everything that happens in life. That's what life is. Life is not about like this constant state of like happy, 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 or happy, 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 always up here, or baseline, always comfortable, right? It's going to always be like this, and sometimes it'll be really high, sometimes really low. And that's the way life is. Like, we need to just accept that. And in these lows, we need to know how to work it, because these lows can really mess with you, because it can have an everlasting lifetime effect depending on what it is. Just like, you know, when you meet a person and like they just gave you so much love or happiness or something really positive, and you'll remember that person for a lifetime. Until you grow old, you'll still know and remember and feel those feelings, those good, positive, happy feelings that someone gave you. And that, on the flip side, is the same thing as you would feel for the negative feelings. So you don't want that to sit there with you, because the happy obviously is like good and a good memory, a positive thing, but a negative is like you need to learn the lesson from it and take that lesson with you, but leave the hurt, the baggage, the feelings that you are feeling in that moment where that moment lies. So if you're watching this, I know that maybe you are curious about the 5 stages of grief, or maybe you're grieving right now, and I just want to let you know that I feel you. I definitely feel you in all the different stages, and I know that it's really hard right now, and I know that you may feel like there's no hope, but I really want you to know that it gets better. It really does, but you have to put in the work, and you have to actually do the work to make it better. It's your choice. You have to make that choice, because if you're making choices that aren't serving you, you're gonna repeat this cycle, and it may feel good in the moment, but I'm telling you, when you really dig deep within yourself, you'll know if that's really what you want or not. So I really do encourage you to explore this, sit with yourself, and know that you're just not alone. Know that I've definitely gone through it. I know people who have gone through it, a lot of people who have gone through it, and we've all done it in different ways, done the grieving in different ways, but yet the feelings are all the same. Know that you have support, you know, you have places that you could turn to, so please use them. All right, bye guys.